And first down, 15 yards there.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Scoring has really been at a premium. And, Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense, too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Josh Bynes gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. They'll set up a screen for Breida. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here comes the 49ers punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a toss play. It's Breida. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Here we go.
On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And he'll be taken down well before the 1st at about the 36-yard line. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Things just got interesting. They tried for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third. Back to throw. Snead's got it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 18. Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. Well, these corners, I tell you, they've done excellent work all game long.
They remind me of guys in the past who just said, hey, throw it out here 100 times. Nothing good is going to happen. And if you throw it in the wrong place, I'll take it the other way.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on fourth down. On fourth down, Jackson eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on first. And he is across and in for the score. And now they can tie the game in the final stages with the extra point.
Or they can go for 2 and go for the win. Obviously, the excitement level here is almost a fever pitch. Down 1. It's tempting to go for 2. I say you go ahead and kick the extra point. You got the home crowd. Carry it into overtime.
I'm with you. I do see some fans, though, holding up 2 fingers. Easy now.
Yeah, but they're not the ones who have to actually make that call, are they?
A very important extra point there. Up and good. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And we may very well be headed to overtime.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And it's a short kick, taken right around the 19. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 34-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. So they go pass, now they go run, and 2 plays resulting in really nice pickups.
Certainly sounds like a 50-50 deal, doesn't it? Sounds like great balance. Well, you know what all those coaches have told us over the years, Brandon, that balance is? It means doing what you want to when you want to. That play call.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Nick Bosa. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. He's going deep for Brown. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face, good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. So here comes Justin Tucker in a big spot. This to at least get him a lead here in overtime. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up, because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Breida, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. So a little chunk there on first as they try to chip away down 3 in overtime.
I like your description. Chip away, down 3. You don't have to get it all in one big play, although obviously that would be nice. But there's no need to have that type.
Oh, it's intercepted. That'll seal it. Picked off near the 29. And that's how this one ends in dramatic fashion in overtime with an interception. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about. A long field goal to win it, so definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins.